The latest video I made on the Turkey Tom channel, the main channel, if that's what you want to call it, was about MrGirl. He's a very controversial internet figure that you guys probably know from his review of the movie Cuties. And another controversial internet figure, Vegan Gains, decided to come onto my stream the other day to talk about it.
Hello.
All right, I think they can hear you. So you want to talk about the MrGirl video?
Yeah, there was a section in your video that I kind of disagreed with. It was about him being like emotionally manipulative or abusive with his girlfriends.
Okay. What did you disagree with? I guess specifically.
Yeah. So there's this idea that he's kind of pressuring his girlfriend for sex, with like the sex doll thing, demanding that, you know, if she doesn't have sex regularly, then he's gonna like humiliate her by having sex with a sex doll or breaking up. And she also said, like, she feels uncomfortable about this whole interview and crap, and it feels like it's, you know, pushing her boundaries. I don't think any of his behavior that has been made public can really be construed as being emotionally manipulative or abusive.
Did I call? I don't think I called him emotionally manipulative in the video, but obviously I did.
I don't think you did, but you brought up the point that a lot of people think it is.
Yeah, I mean, I would obviously a lot of people think it is. I mean, to me, MrGirl seems like he's so. I feel like I'm paying him a compliment here. Maybe I guess it is a compliment. He's so honest, he can't not say exactly how he feels in the most like direct way possible. And sometimes that makes him look like a fucking horrible person, especially with like the cutie stuff, you know.
Well, yeah, it's also hard to tell how honest he's really being or if he's just making a joke about it.
I mean, with the cuties thing, I think he was being honest for sure.
Yeah, that's gross and weird. But as far as his relationships, here's the thing: like, women will always do this. Like, they'll complain about fucking anything, and I don't care if people say that I'm sexist for saying this. It's just true. No matter what you do, they'll fucking complain.
Good point.
And
they do complain. They're known to do that. I agree with you completely. Yeah.
This is like, it's weird how people said MrGirl is being emotionally manipulative when you can see his girlfriend at the time. I think they're married now, right? She was saying, "You're pushing my boundaries." That's a very easy tool that women and men use to try to manipulate their partner into doing what they want. And people do this all the time too, especially with women. We remove all agency from women as soon as they show any signs of distress.
Would you not say that it's, I mean, like slightly manipulative to like get her on camera and then bring up, I mean, she said it herself in the video, like, you know, bring up the topic of what he wanted to talk about when she didn't know that that was what it was going to be about?
So first of all, I don't necessarily believe her when she says that. Like, they're talking about a sex doll and everything, and the conversation was clearly leading towards their sex life, so I don't even believe her when she says that. Secondly, even if that's the case, she's a legal adult. Judging by the way she looks, she's at least in her 20s, like probably mid to late 20s. You can't just take away all agency from women and claim they're a victim of abuse and manipulation, and the only reason they're doing this is because they're being manipulated and abused. She's an adult. If she didn't want to be in that relationship, if she didn't want to have that conversation, if she didn't want to have it recorded, she could have left at any time. She could have left this guy at any time and got her own apartment or dated somebody else. And they're married now and they're still together. So, like, women, like again, women will complain about literally anything, even when you do everything you ask of them. And when you do everything you ask of them, you're just going to make it seem as though you're a weak fucking beta male. They play these games all the time. Oh, you're pushing my boundaries. Oh, I need more love and attention. Go out and don't go out and see your friends. Oh, you have to come with me to some stupid thing you hate because I'm gonna feel alone. And when you give into all this shit,
yeah,
it's true. When you give into all of this shit, they're going to lose respect for you and they're going to leave. And case in point, MrGirl doesn't give into this fucking bullshit. He doesn't give into this bullshit. You're pushing my boundaries. He understands that, like, he can set the terms of the relationship. And if he wants to have a relationship where she has to have sex a certain amount of times, or else he's going to leave her, or he's going to try to humiliate her with a sex doll or something, or he wants to have her show up on camera, or else he leaves. Those are the terms of his relationship, and she seems to be totally fine with those terms, if she wasn't, she would have fucking left.
What is your feeling on Mr. Girl in general? I'm curious. You talked to him, I assume, back in the day on those panels. Yeah.
I don't think I ever had any direct conversation with him. The one huge disagreement that I have with him is obviously the like file stuff. It's still hard to understand his actual position on some of these things. I know he did argue that, watching child online that's already been created and not paying for it, he doesn't see that as a moral issue. I totally disagree with that.
Well, yeah, that was a very perplexing thing to me, because wouldn't he necessarily understand that like the production of it is immoral, and if you're watching it, you're contributing to more being made?
The Steelman argument for that is if it is child pornography that's already being produced and you're not paying for it, thus creating more of a demand, then you're not committing any additional harm. I would disagree with that because there's privacy laws that forbid you from sharing images like that, whether it's an adult or a child.
I mean,
So
even beyond that, it's like I just think that normalizing that kind of thing in society, as far
well,
as
sure,
like
yeah.
people watching that
You
kind of
can do
thing,
that
is
too,
probably
just
not a good thing.
culturally.
Yeah, it's like,
Culturally, you don't want that sort of stuff to be seen as okay.
yeah, for
But
sure.
that's the only like major disagreement I have with him when it comes to child exploitation. Otherwise, his stuff in college was hilarious. Like he was talking about catching Asians with butterfly nets. I don't know why
Yeah.
people took any of that seriously.
Well, in high school and college, he was very, very funny. He's even funny now with his songs and stuff. But obviously the problem is I think he's probably a pedophile. But when it comes to the high school and college rants, they were hilarious. I mean, the reason why people took issue with it is because, I mean, he said it himself. He went to a very liberal high school. He went to a very liberal college. Like, these are institutions that, they hear the slightest hint of racism and they cry foul, right?
Yeah, but I just wanted to come on here to point out that I don't think anybody should look at any publicly available information with him talking with his girlfriend or about sex or anything as any of that being indicative of abusive or manipulative behavior.
Do you think that part of the reason
Um,
people took it that way so far is because he was accusing like Destiny or others of being emotionally manipulative, and that might be why it was kind of taken that way, as well as strong as it was?
that doesn't seem to be part of anyone's argument in favor of that idea. It seems
What I
it
mean is,
seems
I
to
don't know if it's
be
part of their argument. I just mean they became more critical of him for his relationships because he was being so critical of others, right?
I mean, it's possible, but like if that was their feeling, I would imagine they'd express that in their argument. And again, the argument is, oh, he's not doing what his girlfriend wants. That's essentially what it boils down to. And I think that's partly because one, we live in a
Well, isn't it
society
more
where
his girlfriend wasn't doing what he wanted?
well, yeah. But again, you can set the terms of your relationship. If you want to have sex every day with your girlfriend, or else you're going to leave, or else you're going to, I don't know, humiliate her with a sex doll, then these are adults. Women aren't children. They're adults. They can make their own fucking decisions. And I think people also fundamentally don't understand female psychology. They like women generally like masculine men who do what they want, set the rules, and they complain about fucking everything. They'll find a way to complain about anything, even when you give them what they want.
Don't you think it's
So
still
people just
bad to
start.
like pester her, or like, I mean, I don't know if the word pressure is too loaded, but to be like, we're going to break up unless you have sex with me every single day, like stuff like that, like.
Nope, you can set the terms of your relationship. And again, case in point, she's still with him. You can find as many examples of women complaining about their boyfriends or husbands, pressuring them in that sort of way, as you can find men who act like beta male cucks, say, "Oh yeah, sure, if you're not in the mood, I'll just wait until you're in the mood," or "Oh, I won't go out with my friends because you don't want me to," and then these same men end up getting broken up with because these women are looking for more masculine men. So women will
Well, I
complain
mean,
no matter what.
the thing is,
It's
like, sometimes they'll stay with guys who are shitty, regardless of whatever they do. Like, I don't think that because she's with him, I don't think that's a great argument.
well, here's the thing. Women will stay in abusive relationships, certainly, but there may be reasons for that that a lot of people are uncomfortable with. One of the reasons being women are just generally attracted to men who are masculine. And if you show dominance and control, even if it is abusive, some of these women will stay in those abusive relationships because they are getting that benefit from the relationship of being with a masculine man. And that may be uncomfortable for a lot of people to handle. But but I think that is likely part of it.
Do you think they're
And
staying because the guy is masculine, or do you think they're staying because they have some like twisted sense of love, where it's like, oh, I like him so much, so I'll just let him
well,
do
sure,
whatever shitty
that
thing he
can
wants to me,
also
right?
so that can also be the case, but again, you shouldn't just infantilize women and think they're children with no agency. People generally do things that are like sensible to some extent. Yeah, you can find extreme examples of women only staying in the relationship because they think their boyfriend is literally going to kill them otherwise. I'm not saying that's acceptable, but I'm saying it is likely the case in a lot of these situations. Women are staying with some of these guys who are somewhat abusive because they're one of the few men they find where they are showing those masculine behaviors, where it's their way or the highway, they set the rules, and they get a kick out of that. Like, that's what they're looking for. And they're willing to put up with some of this abuse. But with that said, I don't see any evidence of abuse from Mr. Girl. I haven't seen any like videos of him where he pushes his girlfriend into a corner and just screams at the top of his lungs in her face, saying like, I'm gonna like fucking destroy all your computer, your laptop, your TV. I'm gonna ruin all your fucking clothes if you don't like do what I say. I've never seen him hit anybody or hit her. So like when he just uploads videos where she's saying, I feel uncomfortable with this, well, great. That could very easily be a manipulative tactic by her to try to get what she wants. And when you give women what they want, that doesn't always lead to the best relationship circumstances, because they're just going to see that as a sign of weakness and they're going to end up leaving you and look for a guy who doesn't cave in to this manipulative bullshit.
So
So,
Mr. Girl is the alpha male essentially.
yeah, I'm not saying he's the most masculine man. Like he doesn't lift. I don't think he can bench 2 plates or anything. But that is a masculine characteristic, to not listen to women, set the rules, tell her we're gonna have sex a certain amount of time, or else I'm leaving, or else I'm gonna have sex with a sex doll. And if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. That is a masculine characteristic, and there's nothing abusive or manipulative about that. And I think a lot of people are seeing that as manipulative or abusive because we infantilize women, and we live in a society where typical masculine behavior is now frowned upon and it's seen as abusive or sexist when it's not. You have every right to demand things in a relationship, and women are adults, assuming you're dating an adult. If they don't like it, they can leave. There's nothing abusive of saying we're gonna fuck every day or else you're gonna leave.
Okay. What do you think about the video overall? How do you feel about it?
I liked your video. I appreciate how you didn't just make him out to be some like fucking, I don't know, annoying file jackass. And I think you had a fair kind of a fair take on it. I think the propensity of evidence suggests that he may have a moderate to light attraction to children. Again, it's hard to tell how much he's being serious because he clearly tries to get a rise out of people.
He does, but he definitely also, like, he, even before he got big on YouTube, he wrote that article saying pedophilia is a spectrum and we're all on it. I mean, based on that, I'm inclined to think that he definitely is probably a pedo. I mean, in some way, you know, I don't know where he would rank on his spectrum, but yeah.
Yeah, but as far as things go, I haven't seen him try to abuse any children. He is in a relationship with an adult, and I do think he's hilarious, especially his articles he wrote in college.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I mean, even his songs are pretty fucking funny. It sucks, you know, some of the content for sure of them, but you know, I guess what can you say? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I didn't take a super strong stance on him as a person in the video because I just feel like I don't need to. I'd rather get out of the way of it and just tell the story. But
yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he is a really fascinating dude. I'll say that. You know, he's interesting. I really enjoyed reading about him for sure. He's a funny guy to watch. I listen to some of his songs at the gym still. He has a song IDDQD, which is one of his lines is "I'm not a pedophile, I'm a child molester," which is a crazy line. But it's a great song.
I would never say anything like that publicly. Like, even if I had those thoughts, like that's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. He's on a different level, but hey, it is what it is.
Are you still planning on doing the documentary of the Latvian psycho?
Yeah, it's actually is being edited right now. It just took a long fucking time.
I'm looking forward to that. He's gonna lose his shit over that.
He might. It should be out sometime late this month or early next month, but it is coming along. So yeah, it'll be out.
And whenever you want to do that stream debating veganism with people from your chat, just let me know.
Yeah, I got to get a new Discord server set up for that probably, but I'll let you know when we do it. All right. Well, thanks for calling in though. I appreciate it.
All right. See you, dude.
Take it easy, brother. Mr. Girl's greatest soldier, Mr. Girl's greatest defender. All right. That's who that was. Anyway, what were we doing again?